Did you see that post?
People are talking.
Here's what's trending on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, 26 minutes after the hour, y'all. Social media has been going crazy about Tuskegee's new dress code policy, and we got to talk about it this morning. Well,
Rickey, let me just jump in. Starting this school year, students won't be allowed to wear bonnets, do-rags, bedroom slippers, or revealing clothing in classrooms, the cafeteria, or at official university events. And that's not it. The HBCU is also cracking down on cell phone use in class while also working to strengthen their attendance policy.
Yeah, Brad. So now Tuskegee says this isn't about fashion. It's about professionalism. University leaders say they're trying to prepare students for the workplace by, encouraging them to present themselves the same way a lot of employers expect in professional settings. But not everybody agrees. Supporters say HBCUs have always emphasized discipline, excellence, and professional presentation. But at some point, come as you are turned into come however you woke up. However, critics argue against the policy, especially the ban on bonnets and do-rags, because it unfairly targets certain styles and demographics of people.
Hey, so this morning we want to know if you think colleges should have dress codes or should students have the freedom to wear whatever they want to wear on campus because they are adults and they are paying for their education. Hit us up at 866-9-RICKEY, 866-9-RICKEY. Let's talk about it. I experienced my freshman year at Tuskegee, and nobody had to tell us because we automatically was dressed for success every day. I can proudly say that I'm a marching Crimson Piper. Went down there fall of '87, and it was a wonderful experience for me. And when I walked down in front of the cab and saw the way people was dressed and the way people was behaving or whatever, it made me step my game up because I fell into a culture that I really freaking wanted to be successful. That motivated me, man. That was something different. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Alfredus, Gary, Brett?
Well, when I was in school, and this is so very long ago, I had this broadcast, this news professor who was like, dress like you might be called to go to work, to go do a news story right now. Mm-hmm. Since then, I keep a blazer. I got a blazer in the car right now. I could throw a blazer on with sweats and sneakers and still look presentable.
And Rock T always say, you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready.
That's right.
You don't know who. It be people coming to visit universities on campus all the time, yes, giving people opportunities and hiring on the spot.
Exactly. And if you're looking like something thrown away, they for to pass by because you're not looking like you're going to be represented for their jobs, number one. And my thing is, it makes me angry. First of all, let's go back to the colleges. Everybody wanted to talk about Hillman, remember, from Different World?
Right.
They didn't dress like that. Like they just woke up and ran out of the bed. They dressed nice. And you're supposed to dress for success. And this new era, my classmates' kids, they get to dress hunting like they just woke up.
Well, somebody don't want to always go to school in a suit every day.
Well, you don't have to go in a suit.
Sometimes you want to have uncomfortable clothing. It can still be presentable and cute, but some students have style, and they want to show their style. Everybody don't want to be, honestly, in a suit, and I am pro-bonnet. You could be running late-headed to class. The bonnet cover your hair. Hats don't. It keep the hair off your neck. It's a form of a head wrap to me, and we have some amazing colors at Kaleidoscope. You may even have your hair under a bonnet, and you're just saving it to show your style later. You might not want to show everybody yet. So I'm pro-bonnet.
Until you decide you want to show
I'm pro-bonnet. If you're running late, you better go on and get to class and throw that bonnet on. That's just my opinion.
But, Brett, the bonnets you're wearing are cute and can be considered headgear. Some of these people out here in these bonnets that do not have any style.
It'd be shower caps.
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yes.
They do the shower cap. I've seen it in airports.
Now, shower caps is no. I disagree with
well,
shower
no,
cap.
they might want to go run and take a shower during class, so let them wear their shower cap.
Shut up, Gary.
But my thing is, I promise y'all, I don't know what's going on. I walk down the street and drive. What's the new thing now with all these girls wearing their damn butt cheeks out? I'm like, is this a new thing?
Pajamas.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Now, here's the thing. You can't do it in the military.
Come on. No.
You go to if you can't do it in military school. So my son went to military school. They had to get in a uniform. They had to get in attention, and I really do believe that it teaches discipline instruction. And even back then, man, them old folks, man, them grandmamas, our grandmothers was not allowing it. You wasn't.
No.
I didn't allow my sons to wear wife beaters around the house.
Mm-hmm.
your T-shirt had to have sleeves because a wife beater is an undergarment. So undergarment means it goes under. Now, if you want to wear a Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls jersey or a Miami Heat jersey, that's different. But walking around in T-shirts and certain stuff, when there's other teenage girls in the house, you have your short shorts and certain stuff that's just out and exposed when you're raising teenagers. But it's structure. Everything is a time and a place for everything. That just and I think that helped me with my success and just helped me to be better. Wanting to be like some of the students that I was surrounded by. We got Cody Short on the phone. Cody Short is kind of like my niece. I mean, her dad and I is one of my best friends. She's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She also graduated from Tuskegee University. Cody, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey. Good morning, morning show. How are you all?
Good.
Thank you.
And your video I saw your video on driving to work, and I was literally watching your video, and I thought it was great.
My alma mater is all in the headlines right now. Tuskegee University has created a new policy for attire on campus, classroom attendance, and cell phone use. But it's the new on-campus required attire that's creating all of the buzz online. Now, I didn't come into Tuskegee University as a freshman. I transferred in from a smaller HBCU where there was a stricter dress code policy on campus. When I stepped foot on Tuskegee's campus, students were dressing up every day, not because they had to, but because there was a culture of excellence that the students expected from one another. Booker T. Washington, the first leader of Tuskegee Normal Institute, has always reinforced the idea that discipline and self-presentation is needed in order to receive economic advancement. His philosophy influenced campus life to student expectations that I believe has always stood as the cornerstone of Tuskegee's culture. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was a student at Tuskegee, we weren't in business suits and pantyhoses every day. But the calf on Fried Chicken Wednesday was our runway. And we were putting that shit on. But we didn't dare walk outside of our dorm room and into classrooms in house shoes, a bonnet, and pajama bottoms. At most, we may have worn a midriff, and if a professor deemed our clothing inappropriate, then we were called out. Ultimately, we knew better because we respected the sacred grounds that is Tuskegee University. And I hate to put everything on COVID, but it seems like a lot of recipes got lost in 2020. I'm sure a lot of us have seen content about newer college graduates not knowing how to dress appropriately for an office setting. And that is important. And in case no one gave students the Eli Pope speech.
How many times have I told you you have to be what? You have to be what?
Twice.
What?
Twice as good.
Twice as good as them to get half of what they have.
Maybe even 3 times better while Trump is in office. Now, I talked to some of the on-campus students who say that they don't see inappropriate clothing. And that may be true. There may only be a minority of people who are ruining it for everybody else. And I know that dress codes like these often feel like a burden on Black expression and reinforce the idea that respect has to be earned by conforming to certain cultural standards. But there's a time and place for casual clothing, and the classroom isn't one of those spaces. So for those who are against this new policy, my question is, how should students prepare for professional spaces without being trained to do so?
Break down your video and your thoughts, because you had, when you talked about that recipe, that's the part that hit me. Talk about that recipe, Cody.
Well, first of all, I actually reached out to a few students at Tuskegee just to ask them, what is your opinion about everything that's going on? And honestly, based off of the conversations that I was having with them, they think that it has been blown over on social media and the internet by other people and their opinions. Some of the students said that they're not really upset about the dress code policy. They said that they've only seen a few instances of situations where students were maybe dressed inappropriately, but they said it's not the majority of them. And that's one of the things that I mentioned in the video, was that it may just be a few bad apples who's messing it up for everybody else. But like you all mentioned earlier, I do think that casual clothing or inappropriate clothing has become deemed more acceptable in everyday spaces. And there's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah, that's what I said. Now, we'll talk about that recipe you talked about on your video, and then let everybody know how they can watch your video.
Which recipe you talking about?
You was talking about the recipe, Cody. When you were talking about that old recipe getting messed up. I got to watch the doggone video again. But when you was talking about how the older teachers would correct you, they would send you out of class if you're not dressed appropriately. You know how they just didn't play that. If
right.
You can't, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so back in the day, I won't say back in the day, it hadn't been that long since I graduated. It's been a little over 10 years. But when we were students, we dressed up all the time because we just wanted to look good, like you mentioned earlier, Ricky. And we would go into the caf on Fried Chicken Wednesday because we knew that was going to be the most packed day in the cafeteria. And it wouldn't necessarily just be business clothing. It would be, like a really fly pant with a blouse and some heels. But there also were some people who sometimes would wear like a midriff or a crop top or some really short shorts. And if a teacher thought that outfit was inappropriate, we would get called out. There were even some teachers when I was a student there who had it in their syllabus and said, if you are not dressed appropriately for class, you will not be allowed to stay for class and you will have an absence. So those are kind of things that have been implemented before. I'm not sure what led the administration to roll out this policy. But again, when I spoke to some of the students, they're not as upset about the dress policy as much as they are about that cell phone policy. They want to be able to have their cell phones in class. They feel like, okay, we can put our phones down, but I need to be able to have access to my phone while I'm in the classroom because you never know what's happening and if there's any kind of an emergency.
All right, we're gonna talk about that. We got Cody Short. She has an amazing podcast. Cody, if you have a couple of minutes, hold on. I want you to give out your podcast information because I want everybody to follow somebody young, hip, intelligent, has an opinion. All the AKAs and Deltas, everybody need to be following her. She does an amazing job. So proud of her. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. Hey, we're talking about all of these universities. That would have been good to have. We got to get some of these college presidents, like Dr. Ross, Dr. Bobby Knight, get some of them on to have a conversation about this because this is a real thing. I hope that people follow you and share. Let everybody know how they can follow you on social media.
Well, thank you so much for highlighting that video and the work that I'm doing, Ricky. You can find me on social media and the video on all of my social media platforms on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Cody D On Air, CODYD on ONAIR on air, Cody D On Air. And then I also have my podcast, Beyond the Timeline, that my first episode was with you, Ricky. So I hope everybody has a chance to check that out, download it, and listen to it.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all check her out, man. She does an outstanding job. Part of this morning show. Cody, we're gonna be calling you sometime for some stuff. So proud of you. I love you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Call me anytime. I love you too.
All right, Cody D in the building. Listen. So this morning we want to know if you think colleges should have a dress code to prepare students for the professional world. Or should students have the freedom to wear whatever they want on campus? Get at us, 866-9-RICKEY. Let's go to the phones. Good morning.
I think they should have a dress code. I think every place should have a dress code. I think if you don't have a dress code, people take advantage of it. If you say they have dress codes in some places that say men must wear shirts and come inside. They have to have that. Because if they don't, women will say they're treating them unfairly. Why should they have to have shirts? And we don't have to wear shirts, so we won't wear no shirts and come inside. It's always somebody want to take it to the next level.
Yes, my name is Carlotta. I'm calling right out of Clayton, North Carolina. As a Tuskegee University alum, absolutely not. You should dress professionally. They're getting you ready for the real world. And back when I was in Tuskegee, 86, thank you, we had to wear appropriate clothing for the classroom. So I 100% agree with Dr. Brown.
My name is LaToya. I'm calling from Loris, South Carolina, and I do feel if the students are not grown enough or wise enough to make these decisions, sometimes you need adults to step in because it is kind of embarrassing just seeing these kids all times of the day walking around in pajamas, head scarves, head rags. It's just very demeaning to the youth. And
Maria from Washington, D.C., Southeast Washington, D.C. be at that. I think should be a dress code for them to wear appropriate clothing. But my son just graduated from Clark in 2022, and they weren't doing that then. So now you're saying they have to implement that no sleepwear outside? That's real sad.
Our Coach Prime implemented it. You don't wear no Nike slides to class.
Yes, sir.
Look at Coach Prime videos, and I love that because when my uncle Anthony Smiley was playing football at Alabama, Coach Paul Bear Bryant, they wore suits to the game.
Mm-hmm.
When they got off that bus, they had those damn suits on, and Alabama players were not allowed to have mustache and beards. And we look at Running Rock team. When you look at the program, the teams that they playing look like some older men in their 30s, and all the Alabama players look like kids, and they will win the national championship.
Yes, sir.
I remember, man, when I saw, my uncles, them, and Stan Gay and EJ Jr. and all those guys getting off the bus, it just made me want to be a better person. I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be like Philip Brown and Thomas Boyd, all those former Bama, and Cornelius Bennett, all of those wonderful athletes, Tony Nathan, man, that went on to do big and great things. I wanted to be like that, and I wanted to dress like that. And in the night in high school, every Friday, the students decided that was going to be dress-up day on Fridays. Yeah. We would have our shirts and ties on in high school, walking down the halls of Woodlawn High School, just had a sense of pride and a sense of, I want to go to college. TJ, did you graduate HBCU? You went to... No.
I went to a PWI.
PWI? Uh-huh. Okay, but you're Greek. You're a Delta.
Yes.
Member of Delta Sigma Theta. What are your thoughts on it?
I think dress codes are important. I think that as we get ready to prepare our young people for our futures, that we should have that we shouldn't have to be told to dress appropriately. But sometimes we do, because sometimes, depending on how you are raised, you didn't have a choice what to wear. Sometimes your mama or your daddy might let you wear whatever you want to wear. A lot of kids today can wear exactly what they want to wear. And I think college is a time where we become adults, where we learn the right way to do things. And if we are paying to get this education, to get a better job, we need to start dressing like the role we want to live in. We say that all the time. Gary says it all the time. Dress for the position that you want.
Yep,
so you should show up in class looking like the professional person that you want to be one day.
It's called higher education for a reason. It elevates your life, man. Back to what you said, Rick, about Coach Prime. Look good, you feel good. You feel good,
exactly.
You play good, you get paid good.
They say a person size you up the first 10 seconds when they talk to you.
Absolutely. You don't know who's going to be walking on that campus with an opportunity that would take your whole life career to the next level. And one day we're going to have to address etiquette. We're going to have to address etiquette in the exchange of pleasantries.
Yeah.
It's a lot of little stuff. It's more than just a dress code. But how you act with the clothes on is important, and introduce yourself to people when you're meeting people. We're going to have a whole conversation about etiquette. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.